The story begins with a woman named Patricia and her husband, Trumi. One day, Patricia woke up because she felt there was a thief in the house. She took the gun and went to wake up her husband. Together, they went downstairs to check the source of the noise, and found a girl sleeping in the living room. But before we continue, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. When the girl woke up, she took drugs. Then, we were introduced to a man named Alex, who works at the same company as Trumi. Alex's wife is named Marina, and they have an only son named Ruby, along with a maid who takes care of the house. Alex and his wife are so busy with their jobs that they forgot their son's birthday, but the maid reminded them. Despite this, they didn't care and went to work. The maid made a cake to cheer up Ruby, who was very happy because the maid didn't forget his birthday. Back to Patricia and her husband Trumi, who told her that he invited an important client from the company to dinner. Patricia was angry because her husband always brought clients home to secure extra deals and earn more money. Trumi hoped that this time would be a success since the client was very wealthy, and if he agreed to the partnership, they would become rich, and Trumi would be promoted. Trumi took Patricia outside to show her the expensive car he bought for her. However, Patricia wasn't happy because she knew they didn't have the money to pay off the loans. She offered to work to help him, but he refused, telling her that his opportunity with the client that night was all he needed. Trumi returned to work, while Ruby celebrated his birthday with the girl he liked. He asked her out that night, but she refused because of her lessons, making him feel sad because no one, not his parents nor his friends, seemed to care about him. Ruby decided to drop out of school, and when his father found out, he punished him by taking away his car. At the same time, the wealthy client was at Trumi's house, drinking until he was drunk. Patricia asked her husband if she could leave the house until the client was finished, but her husband asked her to sacrifice herself, and allow the client to have an affair with her to make him happy. Though she initially refused, she eventually agreed to improve their financial situation. Indeed, it happened, and the client left happy, agreeing to the partnership. Unfortunately, the next day, Alex presented a better offer to the manager and received the promotion that Trumi was aiming for. Trumi was furious and was fired from his job, making his wife's sacrifice in vain. Unable to cope with the failure for the sixth time, Trumi committed suicide. Patricia collapsed with grief after hearing the news. A week later, Patricia went to the company to collect her husband's dues, where she saw the wealthy client, who had an affair with her, standing with Alex. She realized that both of them were responsible for her husband's death. She decided to take revenge on them. She went to the client's house, shot him, and left without anyone seeing her. Patricia started gathering information about Alex's family, and found out that his only son wasn't interested in his studies. She sent a letter in his name to the school, and when his parents saw it, they were furious. Patricia went to them, pretending to be from the school, and they quickly grew fond of her. Marina asked her to stay with them in the house and help their son with his lessons. Patricia began seducing Ruby with her body, and he started paying more attention to her. At the same time, she got closer to Marina and discovered that she was taking medication for anxiety and stress. Patricia took advantage of this and gave Marina an overdose, which worsened her mental state. While Marina was getting ready to go to a party with Alex, Patricia went to bed. Ruby noticed this and started spying on her through her bedroom window, but the maid caught him and threatened to tell his father if he did it again. Patricia then wore her dress and went to Ruby's room, telling him she saw him spying on her through the window. But before we continue, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. After that, Patricia seduced him and asked him to take off his clothes, and they had an affair. The next day, Marina stayed home due to severe headaches, a result of the pills Patricia put in her drink. This is when Patricia started getting closer to Alex, telling him that Marina's condition wasn't improving. Patricia saw the maid as the only obstacle in her way, so she set up a trap in the basement by removing the light and setting up a rope. The maid fell into the trap and died. Patricia then restored the light and removed the rope without leaving any trace. Meanwhile, Alex was at work, and Marina was asleep due to the medication, so Patricia continued her affair with Ruby without fear. However, Marina woke up and decided to go to work. When she returned, she called for the maid, but she didn't answer. Marina went to look for her in the basement and found her body, causing her to scream and cry in fear. As for Alex, he went to play pool to ease his sorrow, and Patricia came to him, trying to seduce him and offering to comfort him however he wanted. They had an affair, and shockingly, Ruby was watching everything from the garden. Later, Ruby went to his father and told him he would reveal everything he saw in the pool room to Marina, unless he was given his freedom and got his car back. Patricia then went to Ruby's room and told him that his father had forced himself on her. Ruby realized that his father had wronged Patricia, so he began to hate him even more. Patricia then went to Marina's room, who was asleep and unaware of what was happening in her house, and served her coffee, but this time it was filled with pills. She also told her that she found a ring in Alex's pants, intending to spark more problems in the family. When Alex returned home, he found Marina in a very sick condition, realizing that she had taken too many pills. The next day, he argued with his son for not listening to him. Alex was on the verge of collapse, his wife was ill, his son hated him, and he was neglecting his work. Patricia was pleased with the chaos in the house and continued to increase Marina's dose of pills every day. One day, while drinking coffee, Marina began feeling paralyzed, and the cup fell from her hand. She then saw that there were still undissolved pills at the bottom of the cup, and realized that Patricia was behind everything that had been happening to her. Ruby went to Patricia and told her that he had finished school and would go to university, even moving away from the house. Patricia was, of course, happy with his decision and encouraged him, even having an affair with him to please him. The next day, when Alex was on his way to work, he saw Patricia's car and felt like he had seen it before. Meanwhile, Marina was saying goodbye to her son, who was leaving for university. After that, only Marina and Patricia were left in the house. At night, Patricia cut off the power, and Marina started hearing strange noises. Suddenly, Alex returned home, and out of fear, Marina hit him on the hand, injuring him. She told him that Patricia was trying to kill her, but Alex didn't believe her, thinking it was the effect of the pills. The next day, Alex returned to work, while Patricia offered Marina a cup of coffee, but this time Marina refused to drink it, telling Patricia she knew she was trying to get rid of her. At that moment, Patricia became angry, hit Marina, and tied her to her bed, planning to make it look like Marina had committed suicide due to an overdose of pills. Meanwhile, Alex remembered that the car he saw was driven by an employee named Trumi. When he searched Trumi's files, he found a picture of him with Patricia, and realized that Patricia had entered their home for revenge. Alex rushed back home, sensing that his wife's life was in danger. At that moment, Patricia was about to kill Marina, but Alex arrived just in time and hit Patricia, causing her to fall out the window. He then saved his wife, but when he looked out the window, Patricia was gone. She had escaped. After things calmed down, they called their son to check on him, and the shocking revelation was that Patricia was living with him. Their son didn't tell them that Patricia was with him, and here is where the story of today's movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with all new content.